Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and this is going to be my response to Sean Ershen's 80s slasher tag, which is right up my alley because it's my favorite in horror, my favorite subgenre, and my favorite decade. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, question number one is what are the best gore effects in an 80s slasher? I have two of them, and oddly enough, they are both done by Tom Savini. Um, it would be Maniac and The Prowler. Um, Maniac is incredible, of course. I don't know what else needs to be said about that, but I do believe The Prowler, while most people think it's kind of slow, and it is to a certain degree, it has some of the best gore I've ever seen. So, those are my two answers for that. Question number two, favorite 80s slasher with a major star? I thought about this a lot. But I kept coming back to Friday the 13th with Kevin Bacon. Um, I mean, he became a superstar, and that's where he got his start. Um, Running a close second would be Johnny Depp in A Nightmare on Elm Street. But yeah, it'll always be Kevin Bacon. Question number three, favorite weapon used by a killer in an 80s slasher? And the first thing that came to mind, and something I've always loved, is the long drill in Slumber Party Massacre. I just think it's awesome. Um, but some of the other ones I've also liked is the corkscrew in Part 4 of Friday the 13th. I just thought that that was so much fun to use. And the sleeping bag in Part 7. Very comical, and I remember cheering in the movie theater when he did that. So I'm sure people probably thought I was crazy, but I am. So, question number four: favorite '80s slasher sequel. Now, anybody knows me knows my answer for this. It's Friday the 13th Part Two. It's one of my favorite slashers of all time, and I just love it. Just love it. Love the final girl with Amy Steele. I just love it. Question number five: what is the sleaziest '80s slasher film? And I noticed a lot of people said Maniac, but there's only one that made me feel like I needed to take a shower afterwards, and that is American Nightmare. It's one that doesn't get talked about an awful lot, and truthfully, it's not that. I don't think it's that great of a film. It's okay, but it is so sleazy. It's sleazy. Um, Favorite death scene in an '80s slasher. That's question number six. For me, a lot of people say it's the shotgun blast from Maniac. It is still Maniac for me, but it is definitely the first scalping scene. Um, I have told this story on my channel before, but when my friend and I originally rented Maniac way long time ago, my mother actually walked out and saw that scene and made us turn it off. So I think I was 11 at the time, but yeah, it was pretty humiliating. But favorite guilty pleasure 80s slasher film. There are so many, but the one that springs to mind, and usually the one that people hate on the most, which I don't understand, is New Year's Evil. That's it's always been a favorite of mine. I just love that movie. So yeah, I love the soundtrack. I love the feel to it. It is 80s, 80s. Yeah. uh, Favorite 80s slasher soundtrack. And would you believe the first thing I put down was Halloween? And I was like, hey, dummy, that's 78. Um, and I had to think about this one for a while. But it all came back to Friday the 13th. Um, Harry Manfredini, I just think it's an amazing soundtrack. So, and he also gave us the that kind of thing. So I just think it's amazing. Um, Question number 9 is favorite holiday themed 80s slasher. It would probably be, uh, hmm, probably My Bloody Valentine. Um, I do love that one, and it's one of my favorites of all time. So, yeah, that would be my favorite holiday themed one. Question number 10. What is the scariest 80s slasher film? Um, None of them really bother me. I do think that, and this is going to be kind of weird, even though it's a little goofy at times, but I think Madman has the creepiest atmosphere for me, and it has that song, and it's just there are certain scenes in that I think are brilliant. The scene with him up in the tree, I just that creeped me out when I was younger. So, but probably goes back to Maniac because there's something very disturbing about that film. So it'd be Madman, Maniac, kind of a toss up. The one that scares me probably the most would probably be Maniac because it's real. I mean, it's not real, but it's real. There are people out there like that. So, um, and the bonus question is pitch an idea for an 80s slasher that would fit perfectly in the 80s. I always wanted to see something, and there might have been, I just haven't seen it because I haven't seen every 80s slasher, but something in a roller skating rink because that was really popular with my friends and I when I was younger. Of course, I'm ancient, and that kind of started in the 70s but carried over to the 80s with the whole disco thing and everything. So, something in a roller skating rink using odd tools would probably be pretty cool. So, if there is one out there, definitely let me know. But that's it. That is my answers, and I'm sticking to them. And until next time, guys, peace.